What if I told you that in the heart of the Sahel, under the burning sun of Niger, a new chapter of African innovation is being written, not in silence, but with the roaring strength of armored steel? Welcome to Voice of Africa. Before we dive into this powerful transformation, take a second to like this video. When you hit that like button, you help push this story across the continent and the world, allowing more people to witness the rise of African-made technology. Thank you for supporting this journey. Today, we tell the story of Tin-Galen, Niger's 100% homegrown armored vehicle. This is not just a machine, it's a symbol, a declaration, a statement that Niger, and indeed Africa, can manufacture, innovate, and defend its sovereignty without waiting for approval from global powers. Let's take a closer look. On a quiet but proud day in Niger's capital, Niamey, the defense industry of the country made history. For the first time ever, a completely indigenous armored vehicle rolled out of production, a product of Nigerian engineers, built from concept to completion with local hands, ideas, and materials. They named it Tin-Galen. The name itself is drawn from Niger's rich Tuareg linguistic roots, conveying strength, purpose, and forward motion. In a world where African countries often import their defense tools and vehicles, the launch of Tin-Galen marks a radical shift. This is Niger saying, "We can build, we can protect. We are not just buyers, we are creators." The importance of this moment cannot be overstated. Historically, African nations have relied heavily on external military suppliers, from France to Russia, China to the United States. Contracts for armored vehicles, fighter jets, and weapon systems often come with political strings, dependency, and high costs. But Tin-Galen tells a different story. It says, African security can be African-made. Now, why is this vehicle such a breakthrough? Let's talk specs, strategy, and symbolism. The Tin-Galen is designed for the Sahel, rugged terrain, extreme temperatures, and asymmetric warfare challenges. It's not built for parades, it's built for action. Sources close to the project reveal that the vehicle boasts bullet-resistant plating, off-road mobility, a powerful engine suited to desert conditions, and modular adaptability. That means Tin-Galen can be fitted for infantry transport, reconnaissance missions, or combat support. It is fast, agile, protected, and most importantly, it is local. In Niger's context, this is revolutionary. The country faces persistent threats from armed groups across its borders, particularly from jihadist insurgencies in the tri-border zone with Burkina Faso and Mali. Building its own fleet of armored vehicles allows Niger to respond faster, defend better, and rely less on foreign military aid. At this point, allow us to thank our subscribers and our loyal Voice of Africa members. Your support makes it possible to bring stories like this to life, stories of African power, creativity, and independence. If you haven't subscribed yet, join us. Be part of the movement that changes the narrative. Now back to Tin-Galen. The project didn't emerge out of nowhere. It is the result of months, if not years, of behind-the-scenes development involving engineers, military planners, and Nigerian leadership determined to assert national sovereignty. In fact, many are calling this initiative a key pillar in Niger's new defense doctrine, one that favors autonomy over dependence, national pride over borrowed strength. And the symbolism of this machine? It's monumental. Each bolt, each weld, each tire on Tin-Galen screams, "We can do it ourselves." In a world that often doubts Africa's capacity to industrialize, Niger has just planted a flag. Not just on the battlefield, but on the map of technological ambition. The very act of naming this vehicle Tin-Galen, rooted in local language and identity, challenges the dominance of foreign-made systems with European or American names. It reclaims the narrative. This is not a Renault, a Toyota, or a Humvee. This is a Nigerian-made machine for Nigerian soil by Nigerian minds. The emergence of Tin-Galen also has ripple effects far beyond Niger's borders. It sends a message to Mali, Burkina Faso, and all neighboring states working under the banner of the Alliance of Sahel States, AES. It says that regional cooperation in defense and industrial production is not just possible, it's happening. In fact, many experts believe that if Tin-Galen proves successful in real combat conditions, it may become a blueprint or export model for other AES members. Think about that. Sahel countries not only defending themselves but arming themselves locally from within a shared vision of sovereignty and unity. Of course, this is not just about firepower. Tin-Galen is about economic independence. By producing military vehicles locally, Niger saves foreign exchange, generates employment, and stimulates its engineering and metal industries. It is a military tool, yes, but also an industrial lever, a job creator, a source of national pride. But beyond all this, there's another layer that deserves attention. This vehicle represents psychological liberation. For too long, African security forces have been trained, equipped, and even commanded under the watchful eyes of former colonizers. Every tank, every plane, every armored truck came with manuals in French, licenses from Europe, and repairs that could only be done abroad. Tin-Galen breaks that cycle. It says to the soldier behind the wheel, "This is yours." It says to the mechanic, "You can fix this." It says to the engineer, "You can improve it." And it says to the youth of Niger, "You can build the next one." In the long run, this kind of confidence is more powerful than any weapon. Already, local and international defense analysts are watching Niger's Tin-Galen project closely. Some are skeptical. Will it hold up in battle? Can Niger maintain production at scale? Will there be enough funding to expand this line of vehicles? But others are hopeful. They see this as the beginning of a new African defense era, where creativity and courage outpace legacy and dependency. And here's the most exciting part. Tin-Galen may only be the first. There are whispers that Niger's engineers are already working on additional models, possibly lighter reconnaissance versions or even armored drones. The idea is to build an entire ecosystem of homegrown defense products that suit Africa's unique needs, rather than importing outdated solutions from faraway lands. If this momentum holds, Niger could become a regional hub for armored vehicle production, selling to allies, training technicians, and shaping the very battlefield it fights on. This is what sovereignty looks like in the 21st century. Not just flags and speeches, not just declarations and slogans, but action, machines, steel and resolve forged together to guard a nation's dignity. As we wrap up this video, remember this: Tin-Galen is not just about Niger, it is about Africa's awakening. It tells every child dreaming of engineering that they don't need to flee to Europe to build. They can build right here, on this continent. It tells every African nation that we don't have to wait for permission to defend our people. We can forge our own tools. And it tells the world that Africa is not sleeping. We are innovating, we are rising, and now we are rolling forward in armored strength. Thank you for watching Voice of Africa. If you believe in Africa's right to innovate, to build, and to defend itself, then share this video. Let it reach every corner of the continent. Leave us a comment below. What do you think about Tin-Galen? Could this be the spark that ignites a defense industry across the Sahel? And to all our members, subscribers, and Pan-African warriors of truth, thank you. Your support powers this channel, this message, and this mission. Until next time, stay strong, stay proud, and remember, the future of Africa is being built now, bolt by bolt, wheel by wheel, dream by dream.